Wait a minute, mother. Throw some D's on that bitch.
Hey guys, what's up? It's Squid Prince here, and as you just saw, that's my new intro. I hope you guys like it. It took me a while to make it, but honestly, I like it. I think it's a shit. I think it's pretty funny, and I think it's pretty enticing. But right now, I have a battle just playing in the background of this team that I had like an epiphany of. Now, the other day, last night, I was working out at the gym pretty late. I was working out about like 9, 10 o'clock. I was doing legs because nobody does legs, and I have to work legs for everyone that doesn't. Now, after the gym, I went home, showered, went to my girlfriend's house, and we watched a movie, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. You know, good movie. You should go check it out. It's pretty cool. But after the movie was over, she fell asleep. I couldn't sleep. My endorphins were going from working out. And I was like, I can't sleep like this. How am I going to go to sleep? So I start thinking, and now, like, my name for my Pokemon channel is Squid Prince. And I figured I should probably have some sort of squid Pokemon with me. That would only make sense. So I ended up choosing Tentacruel, because I think Tentacruel is pretty cool. And then it kind of like dawned on me, how can I make, him like my main dude when he's basically known as a special defensive wall. Like that's not very exciting. It's not very enticing. Oh, he took that hit like a champ, and then he took another hit because he couldn't outspeed and died. Like that's not my idea. So what I did was I had an idea for this set. I ended up making my Tentacruel a spec set with Hydro Pump, Venoshock, and I'll explain why I have Venoshock instead of Sludge Wave, Ice Beam, and Dazzling Gleam. So I'm just thinking, all right, let me get teammates that will help support me in my way. So as another sweeper, I chose Mega Manetrike, who will, like, I want my team to be based off in the rain. And then I needed someone to set up the rain for me. But also I didn't want my sweepers to take attacks switching in for the rain. So I looked around and I ended up finding Scissor was my best option. He's bulky on the defensive side, and he does learn Rain Dance, so give him a Damp Drop, and then he could take a hit setting up the rain, and then he could take a hit and then U-turn into my Tentacruel or my Mega Manetrike. And then, like, the Smeargle, I want him, like, it doesn't have to be Smeargle, it could be anything that really wants to set up. So I need Toxic Spikes, and I need Stealth Rocks. And since Smeargle can learn pretty much anything, I gave him Sticky Web and Rapid Spin, because I absolutely hate Smeargles, and I am not a big fan of Spore. I think it's a very cheap and gimmicky way to do things. Along with, I don't like Hidden Power either, but one day I'll make a video on my thoughts about Hidden Power with a buddy of mine back home. But, so like, if he sets up Toxic Spikes, and I could set up the rain or just get like a switch in, a U-turn switch into my Tentacruel, it works out because I have a Stab Venoshock that doubles power if the foe is poisoned. So that should pretty much like wreck house on a lot of things. Because Venoshock is base 65, which puts it up to like base 130, which is just like a tremendous amount of power right there. And that's pretty much what this team is about. And I really want to like get this crazy Tentacruel sweep. I think it'd be really cool. But I could hope. Like, as you can see right there, he almost took down a Slowbro. Ridiculous. Alright, so let's get into the second battle that I'm actually going to narrate. So he starts off with Conkeldurr, I start out with Manetrike, I switch out to my Trevenant, and totally immune to the Mach Punch. So now I make a silly play here. I assumed that he would be running Iron Fist instead of Guts, so I go for the burn. Actually ends up hurting me. So I go for the Leech Seed, thinking I could take at least one hit because I am, I pretty much wall him. and I am pretty defensive. And plus, I do have the Harvest and the Citrus Berry with me, so I'm really not too worried about, big attacks. So I switch out, go into my Scissor. I take the Earthquake, which, he fully defensive Scissor. He's good at what he does. So now, at this point of health, I figured I could probably take him out with a Bullet Punch. It doesn't happen the way I wanted to. He ends up knocking me out with a Drain Punch, but he also goes down from the burn as well. So it's kind of like a sweet, bitter moment for the burn. Now, he brings in the Florges, that final form of Flabébé. I like Flabébé. And I bring in my Trevenant. I end up going for Elite Seed while he switches. I feel like the HP Fire is coming. I go into my Roserade. I know that Roserade is, weak to it, but I am also specially invested in special defense. So I end up going for an Energy Ball. He goes for a sub, predicting my switch. But I know I could take another hit, so I'm not going to go out. And I do carry Synthesis, and the Leech Seed is on him. So I just go for another Energy Ball to take out his sub. He goes for another HP Fire and actually gets a crit. But, Roserade's so bulky, it really didn't matter too much. He still took the hit great. So now he switches out, goes into his Bisharp. I go for an Energy Ball, looking for the KO on the Magneton. I mean, not Magneton. Oh, jeez, I just drew a blank. I totally forgot. And he ends up taking me out with a Sucker Punch. I end up bringing in my Rhyperior, and the Hydreigon is out. Magnezone, that's his name. Wow, I can't believe I really just drew a blank there. But he ends up taking me, pretty far down with the Flash Cannon. I hit him with Rock Blast. I switch in my Trevenant because I know I could still take a hit. I'm very bulky. I still have the Citrus Berry coming up. So he ends up switching out into Florges again. I go for the Leech Seed because I want all the health I can. I want to, just sap every little bit of health I can get back in me. So I want to make it extremely hard to take down Trevenant. So I end up going for the burn. I have my leftovers. I have my Harvest, and I have my Leech Seed. So I got all this health coming to me. He ends up going for a Wish. I go for a sub. So now I'm in really great position. Behind the sub, I got all the health coming to me. Now I figure I'm in good enough position where I can end up going for a Curse. Because I can now force him to switch. I'm still behind the sub. I still have the Harvest, and I still have all my Leech Seed coming in. So he gets back up to full health. The burn's gone because he did aromatherapy. So he's just going to Wish again. I'm just going to go for the Willow. I kept going for Willow, A, because I don't have any attacking moves on my Trevenant. And B is that if he were to switch into Gliscor and I hit him with the burn before his Toxic Orb activated, that would have been like one huge problem. Like Glory, like the sky would have opened up and it would have started like, birds chirping and everything. It would have been amazing because that thing is such a pain in my ass. I'm not a fan of Gliscor at all, just because he's so annoying. But here, actually, I make a little bit of a silly play. I underestimate the power of Hydreigon, but I do get extremely lucky because my Citrus Berry puts me at 26%, where I am still able to make a sub. And then I still get my Leech Seed and to give me health back, and I do have my leftovers to help me out too. And now the Hydreigon's only at like 15%, so I'm not going to let my Trevenant go yet. I'm going to sack the Rhyperior. Hydreigon's going down to about 2%. I'm going to bring him a Netrike, and I know I don't have to Mega yet, because I don't want the Intimidate ability in case he wanted to bring in the Bisharp next. So I didn't want to Mega. And then I switch out into my Trevenant while the Gliscor comes in. He ends up going for a Toxic. But this moment actually ends up showing how bulky Trevenant really is. I actually make another kind of silly play here. Like I end up going for Elite Seed while he subs. Of course, he was going to, sub or, do something. He wasn't just going to not, because it is Gliscor. However, I do end up, living the Earthquake, which lets me get a Curse off. Now, we are approaching pretty much one of my favorite parts of the entire video. Now, Manectrite comes in, and I need him to break the sub. Like, no matter what happens, I need him to break that sub. So I'm going to Mega, get that special attack boost. I'm going to go for Flamethrower. I go down, that's okay, because here comes the Specs Tentacruel. I've been saving him the whole match. Now, I'm just going to go for Hydro Pumps. I need to go for Hydro Pumps, because I need to take down the Gliscor. I could go for Ice Beam, but I don't want to be resisted and not have enough power for the Magnezone, and then just be embarrassed. So I end up taking out the Gliscor. So that's one for Squiddy right here. The Magnezone comes in, I outspeed because I am base 100. Now the Bisharp comes in. I know the Sucker Punch is coming, and I live it. I live it with 10%. I was like, holy moly, look at Tentacruel go. He's just on a roll. And the Florges comes in. I don't miss the last Hydro Pump, and I end up taking him out and get my my Squid Prince sweep. Very excited. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know what you think of the intro. Let me know what you think of my set. Let me know, any feedback is great. And I'll catch you guys later.